They say that third time's a charm, so this is the third time trying to make this video tonight. I'm having one of them days. But it's worse days for those who are into crypto mining because China's cracking down and, hey, we might all be able to get GPUs soon.
You are watching the Old Man Badly YouTube channel.
Thanks for tuning in. My name's Alex. I am Old Man Badly, and today we're talking about cryptocurrency mining because Big Four Chinese banks announce crypto ban will report offenders. This story from Crypto News. Apparently, the top 4 banks in China have all been heavily pressured by the central government to stop dealing with companies or individuals who trade, deal, whatever in crypto, and as such making it a little bit harder for them to go. But it's bigger than that because major cryptocurrency, I hate Forbes for their clickbait headlines, plummet as China widens crackdown. And the crackdown is basically Beijing has gone into the Sichuan province, which is one of the biggest mining locations in the country currently, and basically said, turn the power off for these idiots. So what's happening is that apparently there's a lot less mining, and there's a lot of pressure within China for mining to stop. And, well, if mining stops, good for us gaming type people who want GPUs and computers and stuff. And the only thing we're lacking now is storage because of Chia. Yeah, that's a different problem. The results are here. If you look at these charts, okay, this is from, I always forget the name of the site, so I'll pull it down for you. CoinMarketCap. CoinMarketCap is actually a really good site, CoinMarketCap.com. I like them very much because they have pretty much every cryptocurrency you can imagine. They have 5,000 of the damn things. So you can pretty much track what's going on, and what's going on is the big news. First of all, big news is that 1.35 trillion has been shaved out of the crypto market in value, theoretical value anyway. But more importantly is the 7-day trends. And these charts you see over here for each one of these coins is a 7-day trend. And you will notice something about them. Almost without exception, they look exactly the same. I mean, it's variations on a theme, but it's basically repeat and repeat. And I'll tell you that there's a lot going on in the crypto market. Obviously, we are talking about a decrease in the price of cryptocurrencies, decrease in the number of miners, and there are reasons for this. First of all, China represents nearly 80% of all cryptocurrency mining in the world. When you, if you buy hash rate from a mining hosting company, for the most part, those computers hashing for you are going to be in China because the electricity is the cheapest, the warehouse space is the cheapest, and therefore they can make the most money, and there's the most margin, shall we say. China has always been the biggest part of the cryptocurrency mining market, and has been driving, of course, the technology. When you think about it, for things like ant miners and stuff like that, because that's kind of what it does. You have to remember that cryptocurrency for a lot of Chinese represents a method by which they can earn money that stays outside of China, that's never reported in China, so they can become rich outside of their own country for various reasons. It's also another way that money can flow from inside China to outside of China in an uncontrolled manner, where you can pay somebody locally for Bitcoins or Ethereum or whatever that appears in an account, which is then sold outside of China, and the money leaves the country, basically, if you want to look at it that way. It's a way to move your money from one place to another. So there's a whole bunch of things. China's not particularly been very interested in all of this recently, as China has been trying to develop their own digital currency, and they have had some success with it. By the way, they are working on it, and they would love people to move to an all digital currency system, because clearly that's more easily traceable, amongst other things, and would eliminate a whole lot of the black and gray markets, as people would be forced to use a traceable digital currency to buy things and pay for things. Anyway, that aside, the fact that China is cracking down on mining is driving down the number of people mining, driving down the value of the currency, because the Chinese miners, when you think that they are 80% of the mining market, it means that they are 80% of the newly produced coins. Newly produced coins generally are the ones that are transacted relatively quickly after production and turned into cash. It's just kind of the way it's always been. There's a certain amount of hold, aka hodl, involved, but the reality is that newly minted coins are often converted into cash to pay for more GPUs, amongst other things. So what's happened here is, because they represent such a huge amount of the marketplace, and to an unknown extent have also represented a significant amount of the cash flowing into the system. When China starts to crack down not only on the mining but on the banking side of things, it can put a world of hurt on the whole mining process, and can put a world of hurt on the demand for the currency itself. Nobody will want to buy crypto coins if they don't think they're going to get a return on their money. And if there's not enough people coming in and buying coins, and there's more people wanting to sell them, supply, demand, price drops. Very simple. You have to remember too, and this is strictly my opinion, okay, all cryptocurrencies have absolutely no value in reality. When you buy a Bitcoin, as an example, if you plunk 32,233.39 on the table right now and purchased a Bitcoin, you have in fact lost 100% of that money. You only make the money back when somebody else will give you value or money for your Bitcoin position. That's all it is. It is nothing more and nothing less. It's, everybody says, oh, it's just like regular money. Well, no, it's not really just like regular money, because there's no underlying assets holding this stuff up. There's no governments. There's no nothing. There's no structure to support this. And this is why cryptocurrencies have such wide price swings and so easy. I mean, we're talking 20 to 25% just on the ones you can see on the screen right now. Price shift in 7 days. Can you imagine if you were an American and the prices in your supermarket went up and down 25% every other week? You'd go mental. So when you buy cryptocurrency, you are in fact buying the hope that the next person that comes in pays you more than you paid for the coin. The idea of mining is that the costs of mining are lower than the market potential. I don't want to call it value, because value is not right. The market potential for the coin that you're mining. So if you can mine an Ethereum coin for, say, $1,800, and somebody buys it from you for $1,900, you've made $100. But the biggest problem for currency miners right now is that many of them base their forecasts of cost based on $2,500 or even $3,000, or as peak $4,000 per coin, and now they're underwater. 3060, like I have RTX 3060 Twin Edge that I picked up recently. Nice card, works well. they're no longer valid cards to mine Ethereum. Under $2,000, there really is no money to be made with them unless you've already paid for the cards, in which case you can still make some money running them. But if you were to buy a card today and mine Ethereum with it, you would lose money. And the only thing that would save you is reselling that card after a certain period of time and making some profit from that. The problem is the price of cards today is not what the market will support even in a short period of time from now. And that makes a really big difference. And that is the good news for gamers, video editors, productivity people, 3D editors, you name it. If you have been waiting to get a new GPU and haven't been able to buy one because the market has been absolutely stupidly overpriced, when you see the price of cryptos dropping and you see a lot of pressure against mining and against financial transactions in cryptocurrencies, the good news is just around the corner. And that news is basically at 1931, which is the price as I record right now at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, Monday, June 21st, for reference. At that price, an RTX 3060 cannot mine particularly profitably. The return on if you bought the card today for the $600 odd or $650 odd you'd have to pay in the marketplace to get it, your return on that card would take you probably 2 or 3 years, which is pointless. Moreover, the likelihood that that card is worth only maybe a couple of $100 in 6 months on the used market means that you can't even bank on reselling the card anywhere near the price you're paying for it. So there's not a lot of money to be made. If you're using a 3070 Ti, or no, 3070, because the Ti is a low hash rate card. If you're using a 3070, you're probably still making a very, very little bit of money, but again, your return on investment has stretched itself out probably to 200 and 250 days. At this point, only to my understanding, 3080s and 3090s are the only two RTX cards that make reasonable profits down to, I believe the number's about 1600 on Ethereum. Below that, if you're having to pay current market value on a 3080 or 3090, you have no hope of ever making a profit on it. And that means that GPU buyers for mining will evaporate. And that will completely change the market for GPUs as we see it coming up very soon. I have said before, and I will say again, that I believe that by September of this year, probably second week of September, maybe third week at the absolute latest, you will see the most dramatic shift in a GPU market that you can imagine. Basically, what's going to happen is the miners will clear out. They will be selling their cards on eBay and Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist and probably on street corners trying to give them away. And they will be overwhelming the market with supply of heavily used cards, you got to admit, which will lower their prices even more. And that will put pressure on retailers to bring the MSRP or the retail price down near the MSRP and perhaps even below the MSRP by September. And my guess is by Christmas time, even by say Cyber Monday, Black Friday, you should be looking at current model GPUs actually being on sale solidly below their MSRP as a result of a dramatic change in the marketplace. As I said, I recently, last week actually, finally picked up an RTX 3060, a light hash rate version, LHR version, and I paid higher than MSRP, but significantly lower than what the card had been even 3 weeks before. And I'm seeing more and more 3060s available. If you go look at the Newegg Shuffle, the Newegg Shuffle pretty much has various 3060s in it at somewhat more reasonable prices than they have been. You can see that the high-end cards, the 3080s, 3090s, The RX 6800, 6900 are still quite expensive, but at the bottom end of the market where these cards no longer are able to mine, they're starting to show up more and more on the retail side and getting more and more into people's hands. There's a couple of people showing up in the comments of my other videos who have also recently been able to buy a 3060, surprisingly, because like I said, 3 weeks ago you couldn't do it. But with cryptocurrencies continuing to move downwards and strongly downwards, and with lots of negative news against them, it looks like crypto mining may finally get broken. And like I said, by the end of the summer, don't be surprised if there's some really, really big changes in the marketplace. So if you've been holding out to buy a new GPU, good news for you, because you should be able to get that new GPU sooner than you expected. All right, once again, thanks everybody for tuning in and listening to me ramble on about GPUs and crypto and all that stuff. Hopefully I entertained and educated you a little bit and taught you a little bit about how the things seem to be. And hopefully we'll all get better GPUs and we'll all be able to go gaming and have a good time and play our stuff together. I'm a Tarkov player, by the way. I don't know about you guys. Anyway, so thanks very much. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your enemies, point me on funny videos. I don't mind, just as long as they spell the link right. Anyway, thanks very much, and good luck on getting your new GPU soon.